People that have been following this channel for a long time will know that we started out with a chiptune album, and that album you can listen to right now on Spotify and on all streaming platforms. It's called Boss Fight by Wavepunk. The link is down below. But as we're coming up on the end of the challenge here, I've been thinking it'd be kind of cool to go back and make some chiptune and see how much better the chiptune I'm making now is compared to the stuff I was making when I very first started out. And so I took this bass idea we had from yesterday. Got rid of that MIDI, didn't want that anymore, tweaked a lot of things. I probably worked for 3 or 4 hours today and came up with this. There's some things I don't like about it. I'm not going to preface that. I'm just trying to stop saying that. Tell me what you think of this. Goes pretty hard. The drums are really fun, especially given how they started out. These are the same drums we had yesterday. This simple virtual riot kind of dubstep sort of loop like that. We took it, put some distortion, put some wave shaper on it, and ended up with this sound. And then we took that and we chopped it up all over the place. The first thing, actually not the first thing I did, I wish it had been the first thing I did, but one of the main things I did was take the snare out of this beat and put it on its own channel so I could take the kind of bassy frequencies out of it and have there be a little bit of a bass boost to the kick there. You can kind of hear it as it goes through here. This is so much more trebly than and leaving the kicks out, or leaving the kicks alone to have those lower frequencies. And then we also did a kind of cool thing here with these, I call this a choked kick. It's just a much faster kick drum hit. It's the same kick drum. It's just trimmed down here so that it's got kind of that sound instead of this sound. And it creates some really good little pockets, especially right there. That feels so good. That this one being a lot shorter than the other ones creates just a really nice rhythmic texture variation there. It's really fun over here. And there's almost kind of like math rock gent sort of vibe to what we got going on here, where these the percussion is very. It's pretty detailed. There's not a lot of repetition. There's a few things that repeat, but in general, I have a lot of varying grooves. The biggest thing that I worry about right now, I made the whole piece. I liked it. I thought it sounded good. I went and had dinner. I came and sat back down, and this drop bit, the beat felt wrong to me. Like I heard it differently, which is really important because I've been listening to this for 4 hours. I know what I want it to sound like, and so I was hearing it one way, and then when I cleared my mind out, I kind of got to hear it in the similar way to where you guys probably heard it. I bet a lot of you probably heard this wrong, heard this differently than I meant it to. I think you probably heard this bass, the ba-da-boom. You heard the beginning, da, da-da-da, is the downbeat instead of da-da-da, which is supposed to be a pickup here. It's like this is supposed to be the downbeat. But I feel like a lot of people are probably going to hear this is the downbeat. Down, and here it's kind of like really lilted. So I need to figure out a way to make sure it's really clear that that's the downbeat. We are kind of doing this interesting thing I don't love yet, and I've been messing around with and going back and forth on, where I just like straight up have the entire track mute right before that, just put this little pocket of silence in there, and it's kind of cool. Just as this little tiny pocket there. But I've tried a few other things, notably putting in like a blast of some sort, like doing something like that could be cool. I tried like a gunshot as well, or like a gun sort of sound, but nothing that quite like felt right. And they all felt like they were in a really different sonic space. So I don't know, it was like, because it didn't have like the post processing on it, so I think it just like felt really differently to kind of like bounce it and then put another thing in here. So I think if I really want to do this, I probably need to do that in the project. But the bass is pretty cool too. We just have like kind of basically these long, like a little pickup, da da da, and then just these really long sustained notes. In kind of two different places this is happening here, where the bass is clean, the blaster here is clean, and then we have the blaster with a shaper box on it. The clean blaster sounds like. That's the whole sound there, and then it goes over here into the shaper box. Where the cool thing we have here is some multi-band filtering. On the lower frequencies we have this kind of tremolo effect. On the upper we have this like sort of stepping happening. Also just put some rectifier, bass, soft rectification on the middle frequencies with the drive. It just sounded good, and it's kind of even a different vibe than the rest of it. And then other things we have going on, we got our Game Boy here, which is just this 5-note ostinato. Which this is the magical 8-bit Game Boy lead we've used in a lot of other projects. We've got a limiter on it. We've got some EQ and some other like delay sort of stuff going on. You can hear that the rising of the high pass or the high cut there. Just letting that through, and then it gets all the way over to where it's opens up. So there's a lot of automation going on here, and if people really want a full walkthrough of this project, I will, but I've been doing a lot, and I'm actually pretty tired, so I don't know how much detail I really want to go into on every one of these channels. The coolest thing that I think we're doing with the Game Boy lead here is when we get into the main kind of drop area, where we're bolstering it with this extra channel. Which gives it a lot of... By itself, pretty kind of ugly, but it creates a really nice, in the full mix, like a really nice additional texture. A lot of detail in there that's pretty cool. We also have our choirs up here at the beginning to create some texture in the background. This is the same kind of choir thing we've been using before. So this guy, the original Spitfire Epic Choir, we have a tremolo on it, and then some other EQs and some compressors and stuff to really bring it all down. And then in the later half, we really crank up the tremolo and just throw it up the octave. We don't even I don't even pitch it. I just move the file up an octave, as you can see there by the +12, So it's... It sounds less of a choir there. It is just supposed to be a texture that kind of fills in above the bass there. It's going to take up those high frequencies, the Game Boy lead is taking up the mids, and then the bass is taking up the bottom. But of course the bass also has like so much treble information. It's such a strong sound. I was kind of surprised at how, I feel like I got lucky that this just kind of fit in around these. I don't know, I just kind of kept tweaking it and kind of kept compressing it and trying to get it into like a space where it could live by itself. And then all of this has a sidechain on it that I've got turned off right now because it makes, when I solo it gets really funky, but just simply it sets a sidechain mode with audio so that the drums will pop, just on the transients and let them through. I still feel like there's a chugging happening here with the percussion that I don't like, and I don't know how to make it go away. I swear I can hear that side chaining, even though it is so narrow, so I don't know really what's happening there. On the effects, I did use a few presets and splice samples and stuff. These guys are all Serum presets that I put some effects on. That this power down guy is literally a default effect. If you have Serum, you can go to the effects presets, you'll find this power down, and it sounds exactly like that. These ones, this backtrack one, I did put a bit crusher on the front part of it, and then on the tail, put a tremolo and some EQ and stuff like that, and had a high pass filter or a low pass filter? High pass filter, I think, go up there. Get the two mixed up all the time. We did make this little power down sub drop, which I was kind of proud of myself for. It's incredibly simple, but I don't know, it does the job and just drops. I think we have it, all the automation is in Serum there. So it's just this guy turning down the semitones and the fine tune to kind of smooth it out a little bit. And then this guy turn it up the level as it goes down, because you do need to increase decibels as you go down in hertz. Probably the best, probably the hero of this piece is these little serotonin trance impacts that we have a tremolo on. Like, he sounds so good when you put it with the side chain. It's just like, it really fills in the space there in a really pretty way. I did use a bit of a preset, kind of a modified preset with this lead in the kind of middle breakdown part. I changed up the portamento and the legato and added this this noise thing wasn't on here at all. I put the ARP white on, have the level pop with every note transient, every note articulation, and then have the pitch and the pan automate around to give it just a little bit of that, to have not every single noise articulation be the same. Then from there, just put an OTT and some EQ to really kind of crush it down. OTT always introduces a lot of extra frequencies, and then a shaper box that's just adding some width and some compression. And that gave us that little guy there to kind of fill in this spot where we have, if you turn them off there, you can tell we just really have low passed a lot of stuff here. We've pulled down the Game Boy. This is naturally low pass because of the shaper box on it. And we also low pass the entire beat here to kind of give it this more crunchy, muddled sound. Pulls it down and creates a nice space for melody. Over the top. It's pretty cool when it comes back. Just like throws the doors open on that one. So yeah, that's most everything on the master. We've got some wave shaping going on. We have a bit of limiting with a tiny bit of gain increase there. We did give ourselves a little bit of headroom. I was kind of proud of myself. I was starting to really run out of headroom early on, and then I just pulled everything down so that I would have headroom, and then just added stuff back in with like the wave shaper, and I was like, oh well, it actually worked. I've always been intimidated to like pull everything down. This one I could definitely see myself finishing, especially if I can figure out that little drop there. But this would be a fun, like, I don't know, boss fight DLC pack to like throw out. It's like maybe just as a single track, do this as a single, would be kind of fit in with what we've already got going on Spotify and stuff. So that'd be kind of fun. So yeah, making progress. We'll hopefully get that rhythmic bit figured out there. And yeah, that's all we have time for today. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.